Alright, welcome to episode 1 of the editing tutorial. This first one is going to be the setup and then recording the point of view of your first clips, just the kind of basic stuff for getting your recording down, what softwares you're going to need, and basic stuff like that. First of all, of course, you're going to need a few downloads. So you're going to want to download Streamlabs. Streamlabs, I use it for streaming and for recording, but of course you're just going to be using it for recording. So go to Products, Streamlabs OBS, and then download Streamlabs OBS. That's what I'm using right now to record, as you can see. And that is that. You're going to have to log in with either your Twitch or your YouTube or something, because it is sort of primarily meant for streaming, but it's just as good for recording, so I just also use it for that as well. Once you log in, what it should do is automatically configure your settings, but I'm just quickly going to go over what you should do in the program itself. So you're just going to go to the settings here, and then, alright, so what I do is I go to my output and I choose, actually I'm using a different quality for this video, because right now I'm not recording my edit, so I have a lower quality, but basically on your recording quality and output, you're going to click on this and you're going to select the second highest. There's going to be high quality, there's going to be really high, and then tremendous or something. Basically, the highest quality, for some reason, Vegas doesn't like the files. It doesn't let you import them, but the second highest quality is good enough. I feel like it couldn't be any higher quality anyway, and it's the files aren't as big, so that should be good. Your recording format should be MP4, and your encoder can be NVENC, assuming you have a NVIDIA graphics card. Okay, so now that you have your output settings, you're actually going to want to go back into your audio and make sure that your desktop audio is selected here. You can see, let's see if I play some music. There, so I have my tracks. You should only have one of them enabled. So basically you have your tracks in the bottom right here. One of them you can see my mic is going. You can disable that for when you're actually doing an edit. But make sure that at least your speakers are selected so that whatever audio you're recording in game gets recorded into your video. And then next what you want to do is make sure your sources are set up. So to actually record Counter-Strike with this, what I'll do is go ahead and delete my source for this. Move. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch Counter-Strike. You'll have to launch Counter-Strike for this. So now that I have Counter-Strike open, as you can see on the left side here, I'm going to click on the plus button. You can see I have my desktop selected, and this I means that I can see whatever source it is. So when I record Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 4, or even when I stream, I have to turn on the little eye to make sure that the program can see it. So I can enable and disable whatever I want. For example, my stream overlay, if I turn it on, my desktop is over top of it, that's why. There, you see my overlay comes up. Because the overlay is on top and it's enabled. If I just disable it, there you go. So now, to enable Counter-Strike, click on the plus. You'll want to go to Game Capture, Add Source. You have to select Add a New Source, and then you can just name it CSGO. Add Source. And then this is why you need Counter-Strike open, because you click on the top option and do Capture Specific Window, and then you select Counter-Strike itself for it to record. So now if I open Counter-Strike, you should be able to see it. So right now I usually play Counter-Strike in 4x3, but for recording, of course, I'll have to change that. So right now, there should be a big black bar because it's configured for full screen. The last thing you have to do once you have your audio, your video output, and your sources set up is you can go and set a hotkey to record in the hotkeys section. I have F11 to start and stop recording, so that's what I'm doing right now. I just press F11 when I want to start recording and press F11 to stop. And then your file will be wherever you set it to be. Or you can also press this button. Now that I have it open, I can just press that right now. Once you have your recording software, you'll want to open a new tab and type in HLAE, Half-Life Advanced Effects is something that you'll be using to highlight the kill feed, for example, and do field of view commands and stuff like that. And it's also what lets you do cinematics, so it's a very, very, very useful tool. All Counter-Strike editors use this program. And luckily, so here's the program right here, it's very small. But mine has an update available, so I'll just go through the installation anyway, just to show you. And I'll just download the newest release. So you're just going to scroll down to the zip, which should be the first one. Download that. And once it's downloaded, I have a separate folder for small programs that I use called utilities, like FOV changers for Call of Duty and stuff. And I also have some little config files that I'll be showing for the recording. But for now, what we're going to do is, you don't want to extract it right away. What I do is I make a new folder, call it HLAE, and then put that in there, because once you extract it, it just puts all of the files, and there's a lot of files. There you go. So now you can delete the zip, but if you did it in your other folder, there would just be a mess of all of this stuff. So this is the exe that you want to actually run. And what we can do is you click Launch CSGO, and mine is already configured, but you're going to want to click Browse here, and then you have to find your csgo.exe so that your program knows where to launch CSGO from, because basically you use this to launch Counter-Strike, and you can use a bunch of different commands that help you record, just make the video look better and highlight certain things. So once again, once you have your Counter-Strike configured, launch CSGO, make the path. You want to make sure this is checked off 100% in secure mode, because this is technically a cheat. If you go on any VAC secured servers with this program open, you will get a VAC ban. So watch out with that. Basically, if this is checked, which it looks like it's not even letting me uncheck it, which is new, I think that's probably part of one of the newest updates. Basically this just doesn't let you join VAC secured servers, so you'll be safe 100%. So now that you have your HLAE and you have your Streamlabs, you can go ahead and launch your game. Of course, you're going to have to keep this open. I'll just put it to the side for now. So here's our game. It's launched in 1920 by 1080. It should be all clear. What I can do is go ahead and just, these are the settings I play on, but I can increase those because I want my video to look good. That should be good. But basically, once you're in game, you're gonna do Shift F2. Now that we have all our in-game settings configured, you're gonna click Load, and using this menu, you're gonna have to find your demo that you want to record from. Obviously, the one that has whatever clip you want to use. So what I'm gonna do is go to my D drive, CS demos, which is where I store everything, my demos, and then sort by date. Should be one of these. Yes, this is the one. So right away, it'll be useful to go to whichever player I want to. Yeah, so this is me, Tawa. And I'll just pause real quick. So the next thing that we're gonna wanna do is have a movie making config file. There's going to be a couple config files that we use throughout recording, doing cinematics and stuff like that. This one is just general settings, and I'll go through some of the commands now. I'll just read them out. So I'm going to have a download link for this file in the description. You're going to want to put it wherever your Counter-Strike is. For me, it's in my program files x86. Steam, Themes, Steam Apps, Common, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO, and then CFG. This is where you're going to want to put the file. So the file is called movie.cfg. So I'm just going to go into Notepad and read out what some of these commands do. So SV cheats, obviously we need cheats to unlock a lot of these commands. Draw only death notices makes it so that none of the heads up display comes up. So it's just the kill feed in the corner. This is not important right now. Net graph 0, that's basically if you makes it so that the FPS doesn't show on screen and all that. Voice enable 0 disables voice if there's any voice recorded in the demo. These two commands make it so that your field of view is higher. I like to have higher field of view, I think it just looks nicer. And then this makes it so that when you're scoped in, it uses the proper zoom and doesn't keep whatever FOV you set here. Timescale 1 just means it's at normal time. This is my view model that I use. It's just the one of the normal preset view models, which is nice to have, just so your clips are consistent. Merv cam path enable 1. This is what's going to let us do cam paths later, so that's pretty important. Display kill assists, I usually have that at 0 so that it only shows the name of the person who killed. It just makes the kill feed look cleaner. All sorts of stuff like that. Death message debug, we'll need that to highlight the kill feed. I'll show you that in a second. Volume 1, I like to have it max volume, and then you can turn down your computer volume, but have your game at max volume so that your recording is high quality audio. And then this is the crosshair I use. It's just a clean crosshair, nice and white and easy to see. And then this bind is important because it lets us set our camera paths. And more of this is for post-processing, so there's no special colors, just the raw colors of the game, so that we can enable colors later in Vegas, of course, so we don't need any of this. And then this just makes the sky look nicer. You can it gives it the vertigo skybox, which is nice and bright blue, so that's nice to have. And so that's basically it. You're going to want to download this and then put it into this folder. It should be called movie.cfg. It has to be called .cfg. And then when you're in game, open your console, type exec movie. Oh, yeah, alright. And now, as you can see, everything's very clean. 100 FOV. And just the kill feed. So this is what we want. Now, what I should do, now what you want to do is you want to find the round, of course. I mean, you just have to find it. You might have to watch through the demo, this could take a bit of time, but I'll go to you once I know where my clip is. Alright, so I know that this is the round where my clip happens, so I'm going to just disable everything but the kill feed, and now I'm going to look at my console. If you already used the movie config, so basically at this point you have to have executed movie already, and so what's going to happen is it enables some debug commands so that I can see who kills who when. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait, I'm going to fast forward until my kills happen. Actually, what I'll do is I'll turn down the audio. It's probably quite loud. So what's going to happen now is when I get this kill here, there, at the bottom of the console, there's a UID attacker. So this is the person that got the kill, this is the ID on the server of the person who got the kill, this is the ID of the person who died. And since this is at the bottom, this is the kill that just happened, so I killed Nara. So it's important to remember this number now, 66, specifically for this one. So you'll have to do this. This is one of the most annoying parts. Now you have to put in a bunch of commands. So I have a little file that I use that will also be in the description that has all the commands. And so what I'm going to do is put all of those files in, or all of those commands. And so this is what HLAE lets us do. It unlocks these commands, basically. So executing the movie config gave us a command that allows for this debug stuff. So So I know 66 is the number, right? So these are the three commands that you'll need. Merv underscore death message block, and then so basically it's blocking everything except for the ID. So I'm going to want to put 66 here. Actually, it's important that we go to the beginning of the round now, before we put this command in. So what we want to do now is 66, merv death message highlight ID, 66 once again. So that's going to highlight the kill feed for me as well. And then notice lifetime. So that the kill feed doesn't go away immediately, you can just put that to like 60 seconds. So it'll stay there for a minute. If you have a really long clip where you get a kill right at the beginning and right at the end, you can make it like 200. That should be the whole round, but it's not really necessary. For now, I'll just put 60 because I get my kills pretty quickly. So I'll click submit now, or I can just press enter. And so what's also important is to record in slow motion. Record in a quarter speed because it's very easy to squeeze your clips back to 400 speed. 400% speed in Vegas, which will put them at normal speed, but what that basically lets you do is slow it down later to add velocity effects, and it'll still look smooth, because if you record at 1x speed in 60 FPS, then you'll only be able to go 2 times slower, and then it'll start looking choppy, because obviously when you stretch out a video, it's not playing the frames as fast. But if we're recording in a quarter speed, and we put it to normal speed in Vegas, then we'll have a lot more frames to work with, and we can stretch it out to make it slower and add effects, and it'll still look smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward to where the kills start, and then I'm going to watch through it and record in slow motion. I'll just show you an example in normal speed though. So the clip is about to start. Everything's closed. I can start recording now. Of course, this would all be in slow motion, but as you can see in the top right, it's all highlighted. It's not going away like it would in game. 3rd kill and 4th kill. So there's our clip. You can wait for a little bit and then stop recording. And so there we have it. So I'm actually going to record this so that I can show you. I'm going to basically make a small edit using this clip to show you how I do things. But that's what it's going to look like pretty much. You would be recording it in a quarter speed, and I'm going to record it now in a quarter speed. And then I'll show you how to edit using that in another video.